Imagine a time when music was not just entertainment, but a living force that shaped destinies, inspired warriors, and bridged the world of the living with that of the gods. Such was the power of the Celtic bards, keepers of stories, masters of melody, and weavers of legends that still echo today. In ancient Europe, long before stone castles and crowned kings, the Celts lived in tribes scattered across dense forests and rolling green hills. They believed the world was inhabited by gods, spirits, and magical creatures. And in this realm of mystery, bards were more than musicians. They were philosophers, historians, and advisors. Their songs were like golden threads, weaving together the past, the present, and the future. Instruments such as the Celtic harp, wooden flutes, and rhythmic drums were extensions of their voices, crafting melodies that seemed to whisper ancient secrets. But what truly set the bards apart was their connection to the sacred. They believed music was a gift from the gods, a form of magic that could pierce the veils between worlds. When a bard sang, they did not merely tell a story. They summoned ancestral memories, honored fallen heroes, and celebrated the cycles of nature. They sang of gods like Dagda, the lord of life and death, and Morrigan, the goddess of war and fate. They recounted the adventures of heroes like Cu Chulainn, whose strength and courage were as legendary as his tragic end. And of course, they spoke of enchanted places, mystical forests, shimmering lakes, and hills where the veil between worlds grew thin. One such magical place was Stonehenge. The majestic stone circle, erected in some long-forgotten age, was more than a monument. It was a gateway. The bards sang that there, beneath the solstice light, the gods once walked among men. Stonehenge stood as a symbol of the bond between heaven and earth, and it was in this world of myth and magic that the legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table were born. Arthur, the king who united Britain, was more than a leader. He was a beacon of hope and justice. His knights, like Lancelot and Gawain, were celebrated in songs of honor, courage, and sacrifice. At the heart of it all stood Merlin, the enigmatic wizard and advisor whose wisdom seemed to flow directly from the old gods. The bards claimed Merlin was a guardian of Celtic secrets, a master of magic who could speak to the spirits of nature and foretell the future. It was he who guided Arthur on his journey, inspiring him to create the Round Table, a symbol of equality and unity. The tales of Arthur and Merlin were so powerful that centuries later they still stir the soul. Yet the bards did not sing only of heroes and wizards. They also preserved real history, the battles, the alliances, the deeds of kings and warriors. In an age when writing was rare, they were the keepers of oral tradition. Every battle, every act of bravery was immortalized in verse and melody. And so, generation after generation, the stories endured. Today, thousands of years later, the bards' melodies still resonate. They live on in folk songs, in retold tales, and even in modern music. And in a way, the spirit of the bards endures. In those who use music to tell stories, to inspire, to connect. Because in the end, music is more than sound. It is magic. It is memory. It is eternity.